There, you've been told in this generation, us too, that there's one Quran, absolutely the same way, every word, letter for letter, dot for dot, is the exact same no matter where you go in the world. That's been the myth. And that myth, thanks to the internet, has been broken, has been shattered, because now anyone can go on the internet and access the Hafs Quran, Warsh Quran, the Duri Quran, Kalun Quran, Kathir Quran, Khalaf Quran.
This is the first I hear of any of these, honestly.
Okay.
Whether it was all the way from Adam to Muhammad.
I like what you just said.
All have the same message. Surrender to the one God.
I like what you just said. You said that you are basing your belief on the consistency of the prophets altogether. I like that answer. All right, so let me give you something from the Torah, what Moses taught. Okay? Moses taught this. He says in Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 1, he says to the children of Israel, he says, you are the sons of the Most High God. That's what God revealed through Moses, that the children of Israel are children of God. Prophet Malachi, chapter 3, he says, God is our Father who created us. God is our Father who created us. Malachi. So we got Moses, we got Malachi. Here's Isaiah. Isaiah says, God is our Father who made us, the potter who molded us. That's Isaiah, chapter 63. So we got Moses, we got Malachi, we got Isaiah, we got David in the Psalms who says about the Messiah that God says, Messiah, today you will be my son and I will be to you a father. So David says that God is the father of the Messiah. So you got Moses saying that God is a father. Malachi says God is a father. Isaiah says God is a father. David says God is a father. And then Jesus comes and says, for God sent his son into the world to save the world, John 3:16. So all the prophets agree that God is the father. So why don't you?
In your belief, all the prophets agree he's the father. In my belief, I reject that any of the prophets said he is the father. Whether it's David, Isaiah, Jesus, regardless of what prophet it was, they surrendered to one true God. We are his slaves, his creation.
How do you know what they said?
Let me explain something to you. In my belief, there are miracles to prove prophecy. That when the prophets came, there are miracles that came. When Moses came, what was his miracle? So people could believe that he is sent by God.
The 10 plagues of Egypt.
Yes, and when he opened up the sea, the Red Sea or whatever, and they all crossed and all that. And when they tried to do all the spells on him and it all failed and they couldn't, when Pharaoh.
Wait, how do you know it was the Red Sea?
Isn't it?
I mean, it is, but how did you know that?
I think it's written in the Quran that it's the Red Sea. I'm not sure.
It's not. It's not written in the Quran that it's the Red Sea.
Well, Egypt, the Red Sea, geographically. Come on, let's not focus right here. Let's move on to...
There's a reason why I'm bringing this up. It's really important to our conversation. Mm-hmm. The reason why you know that detail, because there was more bodies of ocean that surround you, but the Red Sea specifically is mentioned in the Torah that I have in the Bible. Mm-hmm. So you're getting this information, these details about what happened from the Bible, while at the same time...
It's written in the Quran too.
No, it's not.
It is. It's written. The whole story of Moses is written in the Quran. They might not have said that he parted the Red Sea, but they said that he did part the sea. Now, I personally, when I said the Red Sea, I thought of it geographically because I know the Red Sea is by Egypt. So that's why I said that.
Well, so this is my thing, though. You can have, because, when you're talking about splitting the body of water, you got the Nile River over there. You got a few bodies of water, big bodies of water by Egypt.
True.
And you also got the Red Sea. How do you know which one was split?
Because he didn't say, because they didn't say that he split the river or the Nile or whatever. They said he split the sea.
The Quran doesn't say which body of water he split.
Okay. I'm not going to argue that because I'm not sure of my answer, what's the right thing to be. But that's not my point. My point is every prophet had a miracle. That was Moses. Jesus was born from a virgin. He had the ability to heal people. He had many different miracles that proved that he is that he is
God's son?
God's messenger. Sorry.
It sounded like you were about to say God's son.
I was about to mention that he's God's messenger. Astaghfirullah. You're making me say
No, you almost had the Freudian slip.
yeah, it almost slipped. I'm not gonna lie. And then you have Muhammad's miracle. What was it? Did you notice that? No, nothing that Moses got or Jesus got. But you know what Muhammad's miracle was?
He didn't have one.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't. The Quran says he didn't do any miracles.
The Quran is his miracle.
Ah, come on.
It is. I'll tell you what. The beauty of the Quran is that you cannot change one word. You cannot replace one word without it being known. It cannot be tampered with. That is the miracle of it.
There are different words in the Quran, in other Qurans, then that would show that the Quran is not a miracle?
The Quran is one and there is no other. There's no version, there's no different words, there's no different that. And if anybody tries to make their own version of it, it is picked out right away and it's known that it's false, it's not true. So that's what you cannot mess with. Now,
wait, pause, because you said something extremely important.
Okay.
So I'm asking you, if the Quran had different versions with different words, would that prove that the Quran is not a miracle?
There are no different versions. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I understand. I'm just asking it.
Yes, of course. If there are, and if they can, if somebody can bring me a book that is not the Quran and say, this is the true version of the Quran, I'm not going to be able to tell that that's the Quran and it's the different, it's the same teachings, it's the same whatever, it's not the same exact book, then yeah, but they cannot do it. The way the words are put together, the way that... No, because this is not a mess. The words that are in the Quran are not man-made. They are a message from God directly through Gabriel to Muhammad. These are not his words.
I know you believe that, but
even if the Prophet himself try to change it, he can't.
I'm addressing, sister. I'm addressing what you said directly. I can show you myself right now multiple different Quran versions.
And I bet you any scholar will be able to pinpoint which ones are the wrong ones and which one is the real one.
Actually, it's funny that you say that because the scholars used to debate over this in early Islam. They used to debate over which readings were correct.
They debated over the translations, how they understood it, how they...
All Arabic, sister. All Arabic. Different words in Arabic.
No, I understand it's all Arabic. But, for example, I'll give you a poem. Me and you could read the same poem. I'll translate it or I'll understand it and perceive it in a certain way. And you might perceive it in a completely different way.
I know what you mean. You're talking about interpretation. I'm not talking about that.
Exactly. Those are the differences, but it's not the actual...
No, sister. It's not bent on interpretation. It's not translation. It's literally different Arabic words that they are fighting over to say which one was actually the correct reading. Not the correct understanding, the correct reading. What did it actually say? Have you heard, like, for example, have you heard of the recitation of Hafs?
No.
Okay. What about Warsh?
No.
Okay. So just to break this down just simply, the Hafs recitation of the Quran. Hafs is a person who got his recitation of the Quran from a man named Asim. Okay. Who got his from, I forgot who gave it to him, but eventually they tried to go back to Uthman. So, and there's problems with that chain too, but just to keep it simple. So Hafs learned his recitation, his reading of the Quran from Asim. That version of the Quran is the most popular version of the Quran today. That's the one that was actually, what's the word? When they make it official, they made his Quran official in 1924 in Egypt. Okay. There used to be different Qurans in the schools and stuff like that, but they didn't want to confuse the educational system. So there you go. Thank you guys. Standardized. They standardized the Hafs reading of the Quran over the others. Okay. However, in Morocco, they standardized the Warsh reading of the Quran. Warsh is another person who got his recitation from someone.
Okay. Okay. You're confusing something. These are people, these are scholars that are translating or explaining it in their ways. These are not people that wrote it. There's madhahib, there's the Hanbali, Shafi'i, all those people that sat there.
They have nothing to do with the readings of the Quran, sister. Nothing. So you have Hafs reading of the Quran that was standardized above the other Qurans. That happens because there's multiple Qurans out there. There isn't one Quran. Okay.
We can argue that tomorrow morning. You can't change my mind.
Right, so you seem like a person who thinks, and like you're like, I've been enjoying the conversation with you. If I were to show you certain differences between a Hafs Quran and let's say like a Warsh Quran, for example, you would see that for yourself, right? And then like, it's not my words. You're not taking my words for, because I know that you have your own beliefs and convictions. So my words don't mean anything. If I show it to you though, will you then accept, what you see before your eyes?
I don't have the proper knowledge to be able to tell you which one is actually the Quran. I'm not that knowledgeable to be able to tell you which one is fake, which one is real. But at the end of the day, it is one Quran. There's no different versions of it. But what I wanted to, the message that I was trying to deliver to you, let me bring my point across. To me, my personal belief is that whether it's the Torah, the Bible, or the Quran, it's like a 3-part book. Part 1, Part 2, Part 3. And at the end of the day, the message is one. We are all supposed to follow one true God, submit to one true God. From Adam all the way to Muhammad, and every prophet in between had the same message. I do not believe that we should be against each other. I believe that we should respect each other and respect each other's beliefs and continue with the teachings. If you read part 1, that's the Torah. Part 2, that's the Bible. Part 3, it's the Quran. But at the end of the day, the Quran is the final sealed book. It is the word that nobody can tamper with.
I know you believe that, but here's my thing again. When you say that you don't have the knowledge to tell me which Quran is the right one.
No, somebody tried to replace a sentence or replace a word. I don't have the knowledge to be able to tell you which one is fake.
And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tell you this right now too. Your scholars don't either. Your scholars, your early Islamic scholars, Tabari, Qurtubi, people like that. They recount where people used to fight over different readings of the Quran, over different versions of the Quran. They used to fight over this stuff because this stuff is real and it exists. And I know it's not your fault. I believe that you're probably just parroting something you've learned and grown up with. You've been told in this generation, us too, that there's one Quran, absolutely the same way. Every word, letter for letter, dot for dot, is the exact same no matter where you go in the world. That's been the myth. And that myth, thanks to the internet, has been broken. It's been shattered. Because now anyone can go on the internet and access the Hafs Quran, Warsh Quran, the Duri Quran, Kalun Quran, Kathir Quran, Khalaf Quran.
This is the first I hear of any of these, honestly.
Say that again?
This is the first I hear of any of these, honestly.
And that's okay. Like we grow and we learn. Like, we gotta do research and then look into these things. So like, that's why I'm not, beating you over the head with this stuff. I want to, because you're so respectful and you have a conviction and a passion that I do respect. And so I believe and I'm hoping and I'm trusting that if I'm giving you this information, that you will go and check it out. Just check it out. Okay?
I am going to check it out, definitely.
Okay. And then I want you to come back too. I want us to talk more. I want you to tell me what you found or things that you've read.
I would like to note to your audience though, please don't take my words as I'm speaking for all Muslims, because I only know what I know. I'm speaking for myself. So
yes, it's all good.
No judgment here.
It's all good. Yeah, it's all good. So please follow me, come back, and let's talk again and see what you got, okay?
All right, nice talking to you.
You too. Take care.